Look, I'm out. Oh, I forgot our trailer. Ken, I'm out of practice, buddy.
Well, you look the part, but let's see some of your moves.
Feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving cloud city, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo, solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. Finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbon nights off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbon night is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading.
All right, I cannot say how much that makes me happy. I forgot how much that song makes me happy. So, welcome everyone to the Inflatable Falcon. I am Mike, uh, and I am here with you guys. Introduce yourselves.
This is John, the host of the Best Scar Bucket.
And this is Ken, friend from the Rambling Star Wars fan and the forces behind Star Wars.
Real quick, before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I just want to say that I'm so happy to have the whole family back together again.
Yeah, this is a rare occasion.
I think it's been, 6 weeks since we've all been on together?
Yep. Well, and yeah, it has been because I was in Salem or something like that the one night, or I don't know.
Well, you were in Salem, you were in Florida, I was in Chicago.
And then so we were just all over the place. Yeah, it's good to have everyone back on a Wednesday night. Our summers are over now. It's still 99 degrees out here, and
See, I'm still in denial, and I understand how the calendar works. I do know that much, but it still baffles me that we are already in September.
oh, I know. Well, see, I don't know how it is in New Jersey, but here we go from scorching heat to then it'll snow at Thanksgiving. Like a fall is usually like 2 days. You'll be like, oh, look at those nice leaves, and then the next day there's no leaves left.
Oh, it'll be warm for a while down here.
Yeah.
And then Ohio,
yeah.
all bets are off.
Yeah, we'll have 95 degrees this week, and then it's going to be 77 next week.
I'll take some 77. All right. So I don't know what topic we even landed on today, but we should talk about costuming. We haven't talked really about costuming, which I know probably all of us are going to have the same answers. But why not? Why not at least nudge ourselves to talk about costuming? Anyone have any good costuming work being done?
Go ahead, Ken. I know you've got something.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing. I mean, I haven't worked on anything in several weeks.
John?
I haven't put my nose to the grindstone, but I've got some pre-preparation for something that we're not allowed to talk about.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's good.
Well, and unfortunately for me, I'm still affected by that disease, and I don't know how to describe it other than can't finish Project A without thinking about Project F. Because I sent a message to you guys, I think it was last week, saying, "Oh, I wonder how long it's going to take for somebody to come up with plans for this thing," and then today I found plans for said thing.
Yep. Yep. Well, yeah, I have plans for many things working on that we're not talking about. Especially when people that paint them send you pictures of them.
I love all the non-answers we're giving.
But no, but I did work on a Sabine helmet. So in that season, I did work on a season 1 Sabine helmet. And for any of those 0 people listening, I used a Cricut. I did this one totally different than the 7 or 8 other Sabine helmets I've ever painted. I took the one helmet and I covered it with blue tape, and I drew out all the markings for Sabine. I cut them out of blue tape. I pulled the tape off, laid it flat on a piece of cardstock, cut it out, then traced it onto dark cardstock, scanned it on a scanner, and then ran it through my Cricut to make removable stickers. Because I have stencil stickers, which I haven't tried yet, but the removable stickers seal so nicely when you paint. And then I printed one color. I flipped the image, printed that the other color, so I knew I had them on the right side, so I wouldn't get them mixed up. And then I planned out how I was going to paint the helmet. So I knew the whole helmet had to be primed, so I primed it. And then I knew the top of the helmet had to be this purplish color. So I sprayed the entire helmet that purple color. I put the first set of stickers on it. And then I knew the eyes had to be orange. So I sprayed where the eyes were going to be. I sprayed that orange. I put the eye stickers over that. Then I knew it had to be this light violet. And I just went. So I kept adding stickers to it. And then when I was all done, when I peeled all the stickers off, it was done. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just surprised you didn't get any peel away on some of the edges.
Well, normally I hit with clear coat in between, so, but the nice thing about the Cricut stickers is they seal so nice, but since they're removable, they come off pretty quick. I just use a toothpick off the edge, just hit it with a toothpick, and it comes right off.
Oh, wow.
I can't overemphasize how wonderful of a tool the Cricut is, and they just mismarket it. It's just...
I wonder if I can figure out how to do Tam Posla's little designs in a Cricut.
You can, if what's nice about the Cricut software is if you have a picture, you can scan that picture in, and if you make the picture black and white or do some coloring on it, it will make the image for you.
Oh, wow.
It'll split it up. Like when I did the Boba Fett markings for his armor, it split it into the 3 different colors. And then I just ran the sheets right off of that.
Oh, that's cool.
So, same with the mythosaur on the shoulder. It has like a white thing around it. That file split those in half too. Split those into the 2 pieces. So
that's pretty impressive.
The only thing I found with the Cricut when I made and I don't know if you've ever scanned stuff in and tried to cut it, John. It descaled it. It scaled it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So when I scanned the picture the next time, I took a Sharpie and I put I colored in the corners of the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So then when I scanned it in, those little triangles showed up, and I measured it out on the Cricut software to make it 8.5 by 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it was 1-to-1. That was my workaround on that.
Yeah, the Cricut is the best tool I have in my arsenal.
Yeah,
honestly, I mean,
yeah, it's done more for me than 3D printing in the sense with costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to paint, because it just used to be such a nightmare painting the Sabine helmets. Because I would make stencils with tape, but you'd usually only get one shot out of it, And with the Cricut, you can just get a nice consistent. So now, if anyone gets an enemy props, I can send them the files to print Sabine helmet. So I mean the markings for it.
That's really cool.
So that's my costume. So I got that, and I just went. The only thing I didn't do, which if I get super crickety, I might try. I didn't do the silver trim around the parts of that. I just did that by hand. But if I get really fancy, I might just go in with a Cricut and try to make one so I can peel that away and make it perfect. But I'm not. I'm still happy with the hand worked silver. So
I think
Now, are
it's
you
funny that
just
you've turned the tool into an adjective.
yes,
If I get crickety,
yeah.
now are you just using a paint pen for that, or are you?
I use a paint pen for those. I have pinstripe tape that I've done one with pinstripe tape, and it looked a little better in some spots, but overall I like the look of the pen.
It
Like
looks more handmade.
I think I don't know. I just like the looks of the pen. So I just got the lens in today, so I'll be able to send that one out um this week. But I did make a $200 error. I I let my other enemy props, I cut it out, and I the other one I was painting, I was careful. I let it sit out in the sun way too long, and then it just the whole thing bent in.
Mm.
So then I'm going to try to repair it, but I have a feeling it's going to go down in history as one of those things I shouldn't have done.
Trust me, my first Mando helmet had the same problem. So now I've got the eye slit went from here to here,
Yeah.
and
Well,
the whole back of the helmet's squished.
this was with resin, so I just let it out like it sat out there all day. Like I got sidetracked doing it because normally once you get the paint on the resin, but I don't. They probably use Smoothcast 300, which is it can get a little flexible when it's hot and it's not painted.
Mhm.
If I was making a helmet, I would have put onyx in the inside, but that's just me. But besides that, and then my other costume corner is I'm still trying to get stuff ready for the New Jersey Fest that's coming here in the end of September. So
the invasion.
the New Jersey invasion, yeah. So it's giving me motivation to get this one piece 3PO head done, Ken, so you can have a nice display. I'm trying to get this one piece mold done. But
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what the other gentlemen have in mind of the field trip.
well, we have the comic store to stop at. Anthony's going to want to stop at Just Press Play, the video game that it has all the old vintage video games and stuff. And I think Anthony wants to eat at Decades.
Mm.
And then for some reason they want to come see all my crap. So,
Well, and Andrew mentioned possibly recording some stuff while we're there.
yeah. So
I'm not sure. They haven't told me about what they want to record.
I'm hoping the weather's nice because I'm going to get out the giant Vader. I'll pump up the giant Vader. So maybe I'll get Marty to bring his DeLorean down.
Oh, y'all are making me jealous.
He just got Wings Aloft set where he hits the button and the doors open up and stuff. So,
in addition to his yoke.
oh no, the yoke went on his Tesla.
Oh, that's right.
That DeLorean's like, I think other than the radio is like 100% original. So
Yeah, and the DeLorean radios were awful. So
yeah, he had the original, he took it out, and now he just has to find it. I think all the radios back then Ken might be old enough. Remember, you had to carry your radio with you if you had a nice radio. You had to pull out.
Take the faceplate, or even take out the whole radio. Yeah.
hey, I had to do that in my Camaro. I put a decent stereo system in it, and I had my first radio was stolen because I left the T-tops off the car.
Well, so. My cars are always crap. I had Volkswagens with Sapphire, and then I had a Panasonic 8-track and cassette player in one that mounted under the dash in the Volkswagen Beetle on the passenger side. So you're already cramped. So if you take another 4 inches off of whoever was sitting in there. So and it wasn't wired in. I just had a wire jumping to the fuse box under the dash with an alligator clip. So
Well, what else do you need in a classic Beetle?
I know. So, but let's see. So we don't have any costumes. So before we move on to anything else, let's look at our costume corner, because I think since we meet here once a week, if we can't motivate each other to get something done, we should, like, Ken, what's your one thing? What's the next thing you think you're going to get done without being sidetracked by other?
So it's in 2 weeks. Heather and I are going to meet with a seamstress for her Bo-Katan soft parts.
Oh, okay.
And we got to talk with the seamstress, because we're talking with her about how to make the vest in such a way that we can attach the jetpack to it.
Oh, right.
So there's a couple guys from the Pennsylvania Mercs who have jetpacks for their Death Watch.
Right.
And so they sewed straps right into their vest that then clip into the backpack.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that when we meet with her, that we talk with her about those things, because we don't want to make the vest first and then have to unmake it or alter it for the strap. So that's coming up quick. And there's another armor party with the PA Mando group.
When's that?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's definitely this month. I know that.
Better not be the Jersey invasion weekend.
I think it's before then.
Is our chat working? If anyone's watching, I don't know if our chat is working.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head when it is, to be honest.
Well, because I just got today in the mail a Bo-Katan soft goods.
Really?
Yeah. So I bought them from Pro Cosplay. They're nice. They're very nice. It's the shirt, top, and then the little over vest, because the pants and the shirt look 99.9% just like Sabine's soft goods for the live action. But the vest is not. The vest has some brown. You know how Bo-Katan has that brown, like almost like leatherish material on hers. So that's the only thing. But I got that. I want to take the vest to a seamstress and say, look, can you make this without this? So, because Sabine doesn't. Well, we're not talking about that. But I just got it. It's really nice. I'll show it to you when you get here, Ken. Because they sell now. Pro Cosplay sells. So many people were buying the Sabine or the Bo-Katan costume and not using the parts. They just sell the soft goods.
Yeah, I saw that for Din too, and I was thinking about doing that for.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do.
My Pinto Din.
Yeah. So you have that going on. What's any deadlines or anything you're doing, John, that we need to bug you about?
The only thing is I need to get a haircut. I need to get my hair dyed, because I need to submit my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
You have to get your hair dyed for that.
Yeah.
Really?
Has to be black. And my hair is dark brown. So I'm hoping to get everything done before CCE at the end of the month.
Where's that?
Cincinnati Comic Expo. So the weekend of the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th is going to be a nightmare. Because...
Like a good nightmare? Like...
Jury's out. So Papa John and I are driving down to Cincinnati on Friday morning to get there hopefully by the afternoon. It's about a 3.5, 4-hour drive from us. So then we're going to post up in our hotel and go to CCE Friday night and Saturday, which I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get my dad to get an autograph and a photo op with Julian Glover in his General Veers.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to get him to have him sign the inside of his chest plate.
That'd be cool.
So then Saturday, after the show on Saturday, we're gonna go back to the hotel, sleep, and then wake up at about 5 or 6 a.m. and drive from one end of the state to the other. Go from Cincinnati to Cleveland so we can make it for the Browns game in Cleveland at 1 o'clock.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll be a. Now, where are you going to put your gear?
It's just gonna have to stay in the car.
All right, all right.
So
It's a
yeah.
long time to
yeah,
have fancy stuff like that in a car.
I'm not thrilled about it, but I don't have much of a say.
Your dad might be able to get Veers just walk by in his Veers costume, you know.
Yeah, I'm hoping, but I'm not going to jinx it, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I'm pushing to get Vader done. My wife has a Star Wars thing. She has a new job. We both have new jobs this year. She helps the high school kids, and then they do a haunted walk through the school, and she wants to set her office up as like a Star Wars theme. And so I'm thinking of trying to get Vader done. So. And that's me. Vader being done is an afternoon. Too,
and ordering a belt buckle.
Ordering a belt buckle and just putting the strapping on the helmet. And that's just, it's like when you're cutting ABS armor. I got to drill some holes in the back of the mask. And once I drill that first hole, I'll be fine. But until then, I'm just like, but yeah, I have to get, and that doesn't have to be done for approval. And then Ken, you reminded me of the Din armor. I'm like, oh man, I really got to get on that too.
Yeah, I don't know if my leg armor is the right size.
Yeah, we got to make a list of what we need.
Yeah,
and get back on that too. So I gotta get myself back. I've been good in getting myself back in shape, but I got to just get me a little less thin in the middle here. For those. The problem with the cosplay Sky, you can only go so large, and then they don't make it anymore. So,
Yeah, I'm at the other end of that problem, unfortunately.
But yeah, I just want to get back. I'm just, for me, summer the heat just really drained it out of me wanting to do any real major work. But my garage is set up now. Like I said to my wife, this is the first year in 20 some years of teaching that I've gone back to school and my garage is like pristine clean. Like other than like there's a motor sitting on an engine stand, but like all my tools are away. There's not like 50 million projects sitting out. Like I still have projects, but I went through and knocked out a whole bunch of them.
Well, and you organize them with those nice containers and everything too.
Well, and Ken, you might wind up going home with a pit droid because I found another pit droid. So when you come up, I might just because I put them together one time and just sprayed them with some ugly paint to stand them up. I think for Halloween one year, and I didn't realize I have them. So I'm debating on he might just go to a new home, Ken. So if he's not, I was going to put him in my classroom, but if he's not assembled by the 23rd, which is highly likely, he'll go home with you.
I'll put it in a box on my lap the whole way home. Yeah. 3 hours home
in a box. You need to assemble them while you're there.
We'll poke holes in them.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Mike, we're going to see a ton of pictures of that pit droid if he makes its way to Ken's house.
Oh,
He'll be dressed up, like the first day of school pictures.
Yeah.
I never thought of it. Oh man, now I have a blue pit. I have the whack one back here. Man, why didn't I do first day of school pictures? Okay, that's on my list.
It's not too late. It's still the first week of school.
It's not too late. I can have IG-11 holding his hand.
That would be a good one.
Down at the end of the driveway.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now, well, that's a whole afternoon wasted now. So.
Well, I don't know if you guys ever knew that. So, a few years ago, when I used to travel a little bit more with one of my older jobs, and what I would often do is I would take action figures with me, and I would send pictures of those action figures home Heather and the boys so that they saw where I was and that kind of stuff. And I just continued that practice. So even when we went out to Chicago for that last family vacation, I brought Jar Jar with me,
Yeah.
and so Jar Jar got to go by the bean and all sorts of stuff like that. So I still do that sort of thing. So yeah, I can see a handful of pictures with the pit droid in random places.
I don't know if I ever showed you that shop, Ken. There's a shop about an hour from here. They have the life-size Jar Jar. They have the life-size Darth Maul, Watto, and Anakin in this it's like an antique shop.
I have not seen that.
I'll have to dig those pictures. It's I forget it's right off the Chesapeake Bay.
Even if you don't have pictures of it, if you send me the name and the address,
it's worth the trip because the shop is it's weird because the guy, I don't know how he runs it. He always has display cases full of costumes from movies. He borrows them. Like one time we were there, it was all the costumes from Hunger Games. And then there was a whole bunch of costumes one time from what was the Chris Pratt Western that was a couple years ago?
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. I don't know who he knows. He gets these on loan. And then the store itself, it looks like they just bring in more than they sell. It's just packed full of stuff. So it is well worth it. It's well worth the drive. I didn't go this summer. I usually go like twice a summer. But last spring we went, and he still had Jar Jar. His Darth Maul is really nice, but he's out in the window, so he's kind
of getting faded.
Yeah. But he's still nice. I mean, I'd take you could pull that cloth off and re-dye it. It's not gonna, it's not gonna hurt it. But
yeah, we just went to a vintage shop over the weekend, and I got the latest addition to my menagerie. I don't know if you can see it. It's a bootleg Stormtrooper toy. It's half of a bootleg Stormtrooper toy.
Oh, that's cool.
From Hong Kong.
That's funny.
Made in 1979.
Yeah, there you go.
And it was I think it's the deciding factor of me not buying any more stuff. Because so I get this thing home, and I paid $15 for it, and I'm just looking at it, and it like I said, it was made in 1979. It doesn't work properly. It's missing half of its things, and I just spent $15 on someone else's trash. Like they would have just legitimately thrown it away, but Ken decided to buy it because it's
that's like one of those pieces that you're going to have and most people won't. Like sometimes that's the cool stuff to have. So I went to Michael's. Like I said, I'm trying to get ready for this Jersey invasion here. I went to Michael's and bought the earring display plexiglass, like for like Etsy people that sell them, and I'm going to put all my Star Wars pins on it.
Nice.
Because I either want stuff out, I want it out for people to see, or gone. Like I just got a whole bunch of my collective, like my 501st collector cards and stuff. They're in binders, so if those guys come over and want to flip through binders, they can. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my coins because I really don't like the coin display things people have on the walls. I don't really have any good coins though.
That doesn't matter.
Well, but see, I would send you coins, but all my coins I have to have 3 of for me and each of the girls. So
that's fine.
And Sappy gets cool coins sent to her. Like she got some 0 coins and stuff. So
of course she's 000.
Yeah. So,
I'm just a lowly Kylo Ren.
Well, and I don't have any troops even coming up. To be honest with you, like.
What about your New Jersey invasion? Is that not?
That's an unofficial troop. Yes.
Mm.
Well, you're not going to gear up. You're not going to meet us at the door.
I'm going to meet
in your TK.
I'm going to meet at the door of my sand trooper, and then I'll trip up.
Yeah, count as an unofficial troop.
I'm waiting to see what's up with when Aaron Scare is. So, but like the girls work, and that's one of their last busy weekends. But this weekend, if you're in Lancaster area, Dutch Wonderland, the amusement park the kids work in, 100 Santas are showing up, which sounds really cool. Except I was thinking, isn't that going to traumatize a bunch of kids? Because now they're going to see a whole bunch of different people dressed as Santa.
Well, not if you just extend the lie differently.
I know, but man, that's like you're getting pretty deep into the lie when you start doing that.
Well, the whole thing is a lie, so you're already deep. Like just
I want to buy an elf costume and show up, but
only if you buy the elf costume from the movie Elf.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not just, like Legolas or anything.
I just want
like
to act crazy excited about every single Santa. Do it 100 times.
Do you remember what song I sang to you last year on your birthday?
And then you'll see Maryland teacher fired for being an idiot. So, and then I know, John, you're not a book reader.
Nope.
Listen to the Rogue One podcast, Sal's podcast on any of them that talk about the High Republic. Because they're starting to convince me. I like reading the books, but I just can't. I have to choose when I'm driving, podcast or book, and most of the time podcasts win out. But now that some of these High Republic stuff they're talking about, I'm like, yeah, I really want to get on this High Republic kick.
Well, you're gonna need to when that new show that we saw the big Wookiee for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be like a poser and when they shows up and not know what I'm talking about. I want to be like condescending to the unknowing.
Just turn your nose up at these non-book readers.
Yes. Well,
he was on page 72 of the fourth episode of the fourth issue of whatever.
I think I listened to Sal's episode today, and I think what I liked the best about it was they were talking about how the authors now they feel like they take whatever their personal pain is and fold it into the story. You know, like if and I feel like it puts a deeper meaning into some of the stories, so it just kind of intrigued me to try it out. I think I read listened / read the first one, and I really liked it. There's just so much. I'm redoing my podcast list, and I haven't decided what to do with my podcast list at the moment.
Yeah, I need to get back on the podcast thing. I've been so out of it. And now that I'm back to work, I have my daily commute that I can devote 15 minutes both ways.
Well, I have an hour, so.
You got more time than I do.
Well, again, podcast is the easiest thing to do, and it's the easiest thing not to do. It just seems like what podcasts are, you know. But, you know, I'm Zoe and I talked, and we're going to look at because again, Lizzie and her are both at that point in their life where they're both chasing after these careers, so their time is limited. But we're going to try to make some time and get some recordings in, even with some of the stuff that they're not recording about because of the strike. But even if we do a couple clips and just save them for later, you know, so like get some like real time reactions. And now, Ken, did your best of come out yet on your feed?
Well, I haven't even checked, actually. It was supposed to come out September 1st. It was Flashback Friday.
Okay, because I don't know if I saw it. Let me look on my feed. Or wait, you know what? I wonder, did I have to resubscribe when Anthony changed the thing?
I would guess yes.
Let me go.
I could be wrong about that, but...
That's the Forces.
Behind Star Wars.
Yeah, I thought I did this before. Who knows?
And I just recently put out a brief episode around the Star Wars cookbooks.
Yeah, I listened to that. That was very good. That makes me want to buy more cookbooks too. Yeah, Flashback. It came out. Yeah, I'm
nice.
curious what the numbers. I'm curious what your numbers came out on that. Did any of the guys say anything?
No.
No. I'm just curious. I mean, I like the flashback. I just found episode 2 of Zoe's podcast that I didn't even know I had. I was going through all these old computers, getting ready for the Jersey invasion. I was like, I just gotta get some of this junk out of here. And I found I can't just throw a computer out, so I'm like combing over the hard drive to make sure there's nothing on there, and and I found episode 2 of Zoe's podcast from September of 2015, so I threw that up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was before she even met Lizzie. I was like, I'll just throw it up there. See. Keep the feed alive.
And I'm gonna have an interview with or a shared episode. We're gonna record September 18th, I think. Jordan Wygan from the Pod Awakens.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was a guest on his show
Nice.
a couple months ago. So he's going to be a guest on the Rambling Star Wars Fan.
That's you're starting out, Ken. You're past the fork in the road when you do that. That's
This is going to be a fun episode because we're actually going to talk about the Ewok movies.
I love that. You got to get Steele Saunders on there. His Ewok movie story is the best when he talks about going to see the first Ewok, because in Australia they were released in the theaters.
Yep, and in France they actually had a performer make a special song for the end credits, and
fun.
she plays that song in concert and has live Ewoks come out on stage when she even like recently she has done that. So we're talking something like 30 plus years going on. And
yeah, well, the guy who played Mace, Eric Walker,
yep,
I think he did the Girls show. I think I'll have to look, but he is such a nice man. Like,
yeah, so we're going to talk about the Ewok movies and some of the things that have lasted since the Ewok movies.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then I have another episode in the hopper for I haven't come up with a final title, but it's going to be something to the effect of visiting Endor for examples of George's rebellious, creative, and collaborative nature.
Nice. Well, yeah. That's cool. And now you have your own profile here on this streaming service now, right?
I think so.
Because when I went, I think, did you log in? You have to try it sometime, but you're on there. So like, if you need to use that for the Rambling Star Wars fam, you can make yourself another.
Oh, another brand?
Yeah, another brand.
The thing that I haven't learned how to do yet is how to get the recordings. Like, I know how to make it live, like we're doing now.
You just go in and you don't hit. There's a recording. If you go into the front end, there's a way just to make a recording instead of go live, and it'll record.
And where would it record though? Like, where does it get saved?
The menu before we're here, the menu pre this, like before you go in the studio, it's on that left hand side.
Okay.
And it saves them for, I want to say, up to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's good to just throw them up on you. I went through and updated our feed the other day. I was just avoiding doing schoolwork. So I was like, hey, I'm just going to download all the summer stuff because I was really bad about filling out our anchor feed, and I filled our whole feed with stuff. And I'll do this one tomorrow, so to keep us current.
Nice.
But yeah, so we got Vader. John, you're working on, what did you say you were working on?
Kylo,
your haircut. Well, that's
yeah. I need a haircut, dye, shave, and I need to actually buy the makeup for the scar.
I think they're gonna. What if they make a special edition and Kylo's bald?
Well, then I will never complete the package unless I can figure out a bald cap.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, I just want things to kind of get back to normal. I hope which I don't think is going to happen, but I think the strike, because I think what they're asking for is pretty not terrible,
pretty reasonable.
But it's going to hit video games next. That's, I think, next week.
Well, one of the things that I don't understand related to the strike is why there's so much resistance to even just acknowledge Like, for instance, on streaming services, how many times this show, this episode, this whatever has been viewed, been watched? Like, why is
Right.
that? Why is it
Well,
such a
'cause
struggle to get that information shared?
I know exactly why, because did you see, was it Adrian Paul was talking where he doesn't even make money from Breaking Bad because they won't, because of the way it was, his agreement and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, because Breaking Bad, the thing with Breaking Bad is Breaking Bad was bombing
yeah,
in syndication.
right.
And then when they ported it to Netflix, it blew up. And then the last two seasons were incredibly popular on AMC
Right.
because everyone had binged it on Netflix.
Well, and I think I said it on this show, and I'll say it again. It's not like the people on strike are asking for tons of money. They're just asking what they're due. And again, if I showed up to work this year, if I got paid by the amount of chalk I used teaching math, and they put a dry erase board in and didn't pay me because I was not using chalk, and that's all they're doing. The big wigs are just, well, it's not in syndication. They're throwing words around, and it's similar. If you look at what happened to the actors and actresses in the 50s before syndication hit, you like that, where they didn't have all that stuff, or the Three Stooges, who all basically died penniless because they didn't know, what was coming. And I think there should be protections for that if someone's still making money off of it. Like if Netflix and if all those places weren't making money, I would think that people were being unreasonable, but that's not the case at all.
Well, especially now that they're moving to those versions of those streaming platforms where now there's advertisements. So now
Yep.
that the companies are making money off of,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Making additional monies, if that makes any
Well, and
sense.
and what also these companies, they're making money off of your demographics. So I tell people, don't think that just because they're not showing ads, they know Mike Hinton is watching Netflix at this time and they will sell that to any person that will buy my information. You know what I mean? They're making money that way too. I mean, you look at Facebook is a predecessor to the streaming model and how rich Facebook is, and you are not intruded upon in ads really on Facebook at all, other than you might have to scroll past a few, because they're just selling your information.
Right. And I think Ken might be the only one who can't relate to this. Mike, have you ever downloaded an app and one of the first pop-up windows you get after, say it's, I don't know, like it's a mainstream app,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get either the push notifications dialog box first, or you'll get there's two options. It's either you can allow the app to track your information. I love how it's not either allow or deny. It's ask the app not to track your information.
Yes. Yep.
So,
Yeah. So I don't know, and I think what I've said this multiple times. I can't believe the nanny is the person who sounds the most intelligent on any speeches I've heard in the last year. Is Fran Drescher, but she's pointing out just how, even if someone's not a union person, if you own the Pizza Hut or the pizza place in your town, the people that come eat at your pizza place are the people that have stable jobs and stuff, and it kind of, I spend more money if I make more money. That's just, I don't have a giant safe like Scrooge McDuck and just put my coins in it.
oh, if only.
Well, then think of even like the trickle effects of this, and I'm not talking, Reaganomics here. I'm talking,
Opposite.
yeah,
Go up.
yeah. So, you know, the the makers of these things hire people to do this stuff. Those people, rent costumes, or those people go out to this restaurant while they're making it. So there are so many other people that are being impacted on this strike beyond just the actors and actresses.
Right, and some of them, like even the secondary people, that long list of names that you don't know, that you never watched, though they're kind of in limbo because they want to promote the work they just did, but they can't really promote the work they just did because they're trying to protect. It's a sad situation, but it's I think it's going to be a bigger movement in this country than people realize.
Well, do you also think it's going to change some of the other practices related to filmmaking and television? So here's where I'm going with this. So I know, or I remember hearing, like the last season of Friends, that some of the actors and actresses on that show were getting paid $1 million per episode. And so if the big actors and actresses are getting paid $1 million per episode, then that means the show is going to cost so much more.
Oh yeah,
And I'm not saying that we all need to be communists or
yeah,
socialists or anything like that, but do you think it's going to get to that place where they have this upper limit on it where we're not going to pay an actor $1 million per episode because we're
right.
trying to be more frugal with the money that we have?
Well, I also would I think Friends is probably one of the last shows that we were a naive people in the sense that we thought Ross was Ross. We thought, and then over time you realize, no, there was some guy sitting in a writer's room that, because like as much as all these people say, well, I ad lib this and ad lib that, most of the time they don't ad lib nearly as much as they say they do.
Yeah.
And if they do, it might be a character that someone wrote for them for years that then they developed. And so I think, like, if you picture those high paid stars in a show or a movie, you're still always going to have those superstars that make tons of money. But I think you're going to see a more of a balance where you might not have someone making crazy amount of money, but it's going to be spread out slightly more. And that, that might hurt the super rich people. But, when you see some of these super rich stars interviewed, you're like, yeah, I understand. I probably like the writer more than I love Harrison Ford in the movies he's in. But when I see his interviews, I'm like, oh man, I really like Indiana Jones and Han Solo, you know? So,
Well, and what I have found also interesting about this is it's not really the big name actors and actresses that you hear talking about it.
right.
I haven't,
Well, I saw Kevin Bacon talking about it.
and I'll go back to we're not talking like that.
Well, right, but
I love Kevin Bacon. You love
he's-
Kevin Bacon, but he's not like a Dwayne the Rock Johnson who donated like
right,
six figures to this situation. But they're also not, and I don't know if it's a contractual thing
yeah,
where they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them kind of thing.
right. But like Kevin Bacon made a good point. He said, look, this what they're asking for. He said, I'm out here because I was lucky enough to be in the top end of the stuff. And he said too many people think every star is in that top end. And he said that's not what we're here for. We're here for all the people. So, again, I think it could be one of those good things that reverberate um, through our society, hopefully, in the sense that it will help. Like you said, when you have a production come in, um, all the people that get paid, that money we spend our money. I mean, I know I do. So I hope that the saying "you can't take it with you" is true, because if you can take it with you, man, I'm gonna have eternity really gonna suck.
Because it amazes me to think, the first Ewok movie cost $3 million to make.
Hmm. And wasn't that made on part of Lucas's ranch?
I think yes. I can't remember if both of them were or just one of them was.
Yeah,
I know that there were some reshoots done there.
yeah,
Um, but to think that whole entire TV movie was made for $3 million, and now you have people who are one person who is making that much money for, an episode or,
yeah.
a movie.
Well, and again, like I said, I still think the behind the scenes people are starting to get more credit now because they have more access. Like like 30, 40 years ago, you could barely list more than like 10 people down on the off screen. Like you might have some special effects guys and you might have had some, but you wouldn't know like the names other than Star Wars. Star Wars seems to be that anomaly where everyone started to learn everybody's name. But in most movies you didn't, I think the first special effects person I ever heard of outside of Star Wars was the guy who did the Planet of the Apes stuff when I was a kid. So
Well, did you ever have the Jaws log?
I have not.
There was when Jaws was made, they put together, it's kind of like a making of book called the
Yeah.
Jaws log.
Jaws freaked me out when I was a kid. I want to go somewhere. I think in Jersey they show Jaws in the summer while everyone's floating in floaties in the bay.
Oh, that's funny.
Like so. But the Jersey Shore sounds too dangerous this past weekend, so I'll stay away. But now our other big topic. How long have we been doing?
We got about 9 minutes left.
Oh, okay, good. The inflatable Falcon, our namesake. How serious should I talk to this voice in my head that keeps saying, start a GoFundMe? It comes in my head at least twice a day. Like twice a day, I'm like, oh, man, one of these days I'm just gonna start it. I'm just gonna send it to you.
GoFundMe, Kickstarter, something.
I mean, why not?
Well, how about on the other side of that? Putting more effort into getting the folks from the magic jump to be in an interview with us.
I'm
20
say
minutes
this out loud. Those magic jump people are a pain in my neck because the only time they wanted to talk to me at Celebration was when he had that little tiny thing that wasn't even worth my time looking at. But I wonder if you could set it up at Fan Expo. They don't have enough room.
Well, because they've done those kind of play areas at different events, whether it's Brickfest, RetroCon, Fan Expo. They've had those kind of things. Even Star Wars Celebration has had little obstacle courses and stuff.
Yeah, it just keeps running through my head. I'm just like, one of these days I'm just gonna.
So I guess maybe before the GoFundMe, before you fill out the form for the GoFundMe, you reach out to one of these places and say, "Hey, I've got an idea."
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I would want an inflatable Falcon, even if I didn't have room to put it up, just to say that I have one.
I think I have enough space right in the one corner of that one flat area. I think we can make it. Put it right in the middle of the cul-de-sac. Just.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have to be out there for long, like once a month.
Oh, my neighbors would have a fit. But
neighbors would love it, as long as you let them go in it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it just keeps running through my head. Because I keep seeing that video come through my feed, and occasionally I'll watch it. And when it shows the flyover, like the high shot, like that's like the best shot of it. I want to do it when Google satellite goes over my house. Find out when they're coming over next, and just have the inflatable Falcon in my backyard.
Well, and that if we were to get that we would have to have at least 5 photo shoots with it.
Yeah. Matt, I could see Matt trying to get his special effects guy to make it look like they're real. You just got to make a movie and just go with it. Like it's the thing. Like just pretend. Everyone just pretends it's okay, but don't do any special effects things. Like have Han and Chewie bound. I don't even know if Chewie could walk in it without popping it because with the metal stilts.
Well, you would only have the costume on from the waist up.
Yeah. I don't know. It just keeps it just one voice in my head says I'll just do it, and the other voice in my head says, well, that could smack in the way of just privilege. Like there's so many people out there suffering, and you're asking to take, So
that's why we're not taking from the less privileged. We're taking from the more privileged who have money to give us that they don't need.
I've got one word for that, and that's HasLab. So if
True.
you know, people have given more money for lesser things.
That's
They
true.
just haven't given us more money for lesser things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true too. Um, but
Something to ponder as we get close to the end of this episode of
yeah.
the
Yeah.
inflatable Falcon.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to wind down to talk about the inflatable Falcon on the inflatable Falcon. Uh, I should probably pull the video, and we should do our 1 hour show at the halfway mark. We should run the commercial in the middle.
Could do that.
We should run the commercial if Magic Jump agrees to send us an inflatable Falcon.
Well, we start running it, and then we got to figure out. I don't.
Leverage. I see what you're saying.
You know. I'm just glad. I'm glad we didn't really talk too much tonight, and we had one person on, but we'll get back in our stride. I was on Father Son Galaxy Sunday night. They got 1,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel.
Very nice. Congratulations.
So Keith and Kerwin, which makes me think, man, I gotta really figure out my algorithm for that for YouTube.
I wonder if they would. I wonder if he would spend an hour talking with us about different aspects of podcasting and.
But you know what?
And
I
stuff.
can ask. I'll ask him for next Wednesday. It's probably past Keith's bedtime, but I can ask Kerwin to probably do it.
Yeah, even if it's not on the show, just in general.
Yeah, right.
Because I've got like 753 questions that run through my head that I.
And his wife is their marketing genius. But I think they push a lot of things out to Twitter or X or whatever it's called now these days. Which I just in principle, it's hard for me. I think I deleted all my Twitter accounts, so it's like, but well, and I also think it's just consistency. They've been doing it for he said 2 or 3 years, and they already have 400 episodes. So,
Yikes.
Well, if we divided ours into normal bite-sized chunks, we could have.
I do think that's probably, if we had to circle a problem for all of us, I think we tend to think that episodes need to be longer than they are.
I don't think we think that they need to be longer than they are. I think we just have that gift of gab and don't know when to shut up.
But I'm saying even with the podcast, like the Best Guard Bucket, John, you could probably look at your formula and make an intro half and the second half and split that to a Monday and Friday podcast, like every recording. Because I've talked this way with Zoe, but she never gives me any splits to split it. But like I think sometimes I see like my bellwether for podcasts is that I look at iHeartRadio, and I've noticed over the last year and a half all of their standard shows that are on all the time are now pushing under the hour mark, where before they were pushing over the hour mark. Like Stuff You Missed in History, which is one of their bigger ones, some of them are running around a half hour, 37 minutes. So, but yeah, I'll talk to Kerwin. That would be a fun episode of podcasting. And then we do have to really work on the Unified Fandom Network. We have to get that. I don't know where to go with that. I'm still confused with some of that, but I think.
Well, I have ideas, but.
Well, I
off air.
Yeah. So let me close this off, and then we'll talk off air. And if anyone, just as a reminder, we'll try to be here every Wednesday. Check out the Best Guard Bucket. Check out the Rambling Star Wars Fan. Star Wars Geek Girl is still on a hiatus, probably during the duration of the strike, unless I can talk Zoe and Lizzie and doing other things.
And the forces behind Star Wars will be recording another episode in 2 weeks, September 14th.
And check out your best of, which I thought was. Now I just resubscribed because apparently I wasn't subscribed to your new feed. But the best of is always a good one. And the one last thing, just check on your friends. If you're on your online friends, and real friends if they're having troubles. We're getting into the holiday season, which can tend to make some people upset. So check on all the people you know and don't. And I'm going to close us out with Stormtroopers and then our song.
I used to put my faith in starships, but then my Falcon's hyperdrive just slipped. I used to worry about the future, but then I threw my caution to the wind. I had no reason to be carefree. No, no, no. Until I took a trip to the treetop side of town. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I heard that wicked rhythm. Hey, I had no choice but to get down.